some of what you may have done may have helped with the timing, right? I think you.
What's that?
I think you tipping off Big U. I think that definitely.
I did what?
I think you going online and saying that, and the only reason I'm saying this is that if you ever read any federal indictment,
I did what? I tipped him off.
You tipped him off via
What
online.
did the lady say in the recording I sent you?
Well,
please don't what?
Please don't tell. But this is why I'm coming to this conclusion.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. 50 Cent just exploded on Wack 100 in what might be the most brutal call-out yet. The G-Unit boss took to social media and unleashed a series of scathing posts, accusing Wack 100 of cooperating with federal authorities and turning over sensitive tapes that could put major figures in the industry at risk. According to 50, the streets are talking, and the feds may already have the recordings. Rumors have been circulating for weeks that Wack 100 has been secretly recording conversations with high-profile artists, executives, and even street-connected individuals.
After you got the message, you hit up Big U's wife. You said, "Sis, 911. One sec, let me get solo." And you gave him a heads up.
What I tell him?
You said, "One sec, let me get solo. He needs to leave. Bad." In caps, all caps. He needs to leave.
I said so bad, right?
Yeah, faux bad.
What the 600 said is 4 rolling 60 telling on it.
All right, so Wack, let me ask you this.
So that's what the 4 bad means.
Talking about
let me ask you this, Wack.
Go to talking. I just sent you a clip. Play the clip. You're going to hear the people saying, "Don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody nothing. Don't say nothing." So which one you want? If he wouldn't have said nothing and y'all found out knew, you would say what? Why you didn't say nothing?
No.
Now, with whispers that some of those tapes have landed in federal hands, 50 is calling it what he believes it is, flat-out snitching. In a now-deleted post, 50 wrote, "You out here recording everybody and passing tapes?"
I told you I'm doing my movie time I talked to you, and I told you I want you involved in it. But I'm not fucking with that trucker dude. That dude lies very aspect.
That ain't business. That's Fed work. He followed up by tagging major platforms, warning them to keep their distance from Wack before they get caught in the fallout. This explosive accusation has set off a storm online. Wack 100 has denied any involvement, but insiders suggest that at least one government case may already be linked to conversations he captured. 50's reaction isn't just personal, it's strategic. Known for controlling narratives and protecting his circle, 50's going public sends a clear message.
So it looked good and it sounded good. But if you pull the indictment up, which we have it, is 75 pages of what they're actually indicting him on.
Right.
Nevada's gonna
take that? Okay, so there's a RICO count.
Anyone playing both sides will be exposed. With fans and industry insiders watching closely, the big question now is whether the tapes actually exist, and if so, who's on them. If 50's claims are true, Wack 100 could be at the center of a scandal that blows the lid off the hip-hop world. The situation surrounding Wack 100 continues to grow more suspicious, especially after 50 Cent publicly called him out for allegedly snitching on Big U.
I will say some of what you may have done may have helped with the timing, right? I think you.
What's that?
I think you tipping off Big U. I think that definitely.
I did what?
Accusations that reportedly played a role in triggering an indictment. Now, rumors are swirling that Wack 100 may have even been wearing a wire to help federal agents target high-profile figures in the rap scene. To be clear, this is not about confirming any claims. This is simply a breakdown of what the streets are circulating right now. It all begins with one major phone call. According to Wack 100's own admission, he contacted Big U's wife, not Big U himself, and gave her a very specific heads up. Wack allegedly warned her that a federal indictment was about to land. What raised even more eyebrows is how accurately he predicted the timing of the Fed's move. That's where the red flags started flying. How could someone outside of law enforcement...
Plus, you're saying certain... I know you spoke to, or you had some information from the fam. Like, this is like, You should only know this if you're doing the investigation. But I get it. They told the people.
Know this kind of confidential detail about a sealed federal investigation. That kind of access has only intensified speculation. It's not just the content of the call, it's the precision. That alone has people asking hard questions. And the bigger question becomes, what kind of individual delivers that level of warning unless they're somehow getting inside information? That's where things took a sharp turn. According to reports, this is exactly the point where 50 Cent started piecing things together. The rumor that Wack 100 might have been wired up? It suddenly started to feel less like wild internet chatter and more like a real possibility worth examining. But long before 50 Cent entered the picture,
60.
Hey, what's the about?
Man, put that on Pyro.
But
Put
that
that on
the
Pyro.
stutter box just
That's
called
gonna be
my
another
phone.
story we gonna talk about
Hey,
later.
what's stutter box got to do with something?
I'm talking about that paperwork. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You saying I'm on paperwork?
Yeah. Bro, am I lying? Put that on
Are
Pyro,
you
you
saying
not.
Wax on paperwork?
Put that on Pyro, you
Put
not.
that on 6-0 Wax
Put
on
on 6-0
paperwork.
grip. You on paperwork. Put that on
On
Pyro,
6-0,
you not.
put that on
He put it on
6-0.
6-0
Now
on
you gotta
episode
produce
60.
it. Now
Put
you
that on
gotta
Pyro
produce
that
it.
you're not on that case.
Produce it.
Put that on Pyro that you're not on that case.
You know I'm the one got told on,
Put
right?
that on Pyro
On
that you didn't make
Pyro, I ain't
statements.
on none of them cases.
Put that on Pyro, you didn't make statements.
Suge Knight had already issued a public warning. Suge reportedly cautioned Birdman directly, saying Wack 100 couldn't be trusted. According to Suge, Wack was the one on the Fed's payroll, a claim that sounds far more serious in hindsight. Suge and Wack share years of history in the industry.
The one that then got on me the most, right, is Birdman. Yeah, I'm a dude to keep it 100. Ain't nobody bigger than the politics. That's my brother, and we get on each other. But Birdman, out of everybody, Birdman that got on my ass, like, on me. He told me how dissatisfied he is. He said, I love you, you my brother. I ain't never going to. You know that. We done been in the trenches together. But God damn it, just the way I feel.
So any warning from Suge carries added weight. And right after that, the Big U situation exploded. A massive 43-count indictment landed, including RICO charges, wire fraud, extortion, and several other serious federal offenses. Even more disturbing, the feds tied Big U to a separate 2021 investigation involving the tragic death of a young artist, known publicly by the initials RW.
When I came in, I swear it was 50 and like 2 people. He was like 3 or 4 deep. Radio guys, like regular. So when I went over there, I said, yo, check this out. He's like, Wack, what's up? I said, man, game in the alley 50 deep. It don't make sense for you to restrict him from coming in, and then you got to come out, and you got 50 out there waiting on you.
When you connect these pieces, it paints a picture that's impossible to ignore. But that crucial detail, linking Big U to the 2021 musician case, was noticeably absent from the full 75-page indictment.
Right by the Beverly Center. We thought we did. Somebody called us, told he was up there. I got up there. We came in.
How deep were you?
About 15.
15 people.
Yeah, we wasn't that deep.
Word is, Nevada authorities are reportedly handling that piece as a separate legal matter. Still, what really raised alarms was how the feds gathered their evidence. According to public documents, they were pulling actual audio clips from clubhouse rants and podcast interviews, many of which were owned or posted by Wack 100 himself. That's when DJ Academics caught wind of the situation. He noticed that the feds weren't just listening, they were building a case using Wack's own words. In a blunt interview, Academics called it out directly, saying he believed Wack had tipped off Big U before the indictment hit. Wack's reaction? He laughed. No denial, no pushback, just laughter. And that kind of response struck many as suspicious, especially when dealing with serious federal implications. It wasn't the reaction anyone expected under the weight of such accusations. And to understand how deep this runs, you have to rewind. Let's go back to 2006. At the time, Wack 100 and his brother were pulled over in Texas. Authorities reportedly found loaded firearms and ammunition in the vehicle. Given that both were convicted felons,
We got up there, we came in, and shit. You had Navy SEALs with it. 2 in all directions. Probably about 6 of them. Walkies in their ear, vested, strapped to their thigh, bullies on them, semis on them, magazine cartridges. I said, yeah. He ain't slipping.
Today's not the day.
Nah, 50 moved different.
This should have been a straightforward federal case. But somehow, it wasn't. The entire case was dismissed 5 years later in 2011. Not due to weak evidence, not from faulty procedure, but through unexplained circumstances that still leave people speculating. The motion to suppress evidence in that Texas case was officially denied. Yet, despite that, the charges were dropped under a legal term known as "in the interest of justice." For those familiar with courtroom procedures, that phrase typically signals one thing: cooperation with authorities. And that revelation immediately sparked suspicion around Wack 100's legal situation. What followed only added more fuel to the narrative. Overnight, Wack's visibility exploded. He began managing major artists, gaining industry clout, and somehow always had access to insider information.
What's up, man? I just called my attorney. Try to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they saying Adam locked up all on the blogs. What's going on?
They came and got him this morning, bro. They doubled back. They came by and we try and have him out because he's supposed to go live today, right?
His sudden rise raised eyebrows, especially as individuals close to him began facing serious criminal charges while he remained untouched. Then came another twist. Reports surfaced that Wack was captured on a federal wiretap. The conversation in question involved an individual known as Stutterbox, allegedly tied to a broader investigation connected to the Main Street Mafia Crips. According to sources with knowledge of the case files, Wack wasn't just casually speaking on the call. He was reportedly providing information that helped authorities connect key pieces in an active investigation. To many watching from the outside, this wasn't coincidence. It was strategy, and the pattern looked deliberate. And these whispers about Wack 100's credibility didn't just start recently.
A second, he don't have to, but they own him about something, bro. I don't know what they own him about, but they own him about something. And I don't know if they was trying to get something out of him, but I'm pretty sure come 4 o'clock, he gonna be here. My attorney me that they're gonna definitely have him at 30 at the latest. So he'll be here at 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a lot to say.
Long before the current controversies, there were already questions. One major red flag? His past alliance with Birdman. At one point, they ran Cash Money West together, a move that had the streets watching closely. But that partnership began to fade once Wack took on management duties for Tekashi 6ix9ine. For anyone familiar with street politics, aligning with someone widely labeled a federal informant was risky, career-ending even. In a revealing interview, Wack admitted that Birdman personally questioned his decision to work with 6ix9ine. Birdman never aired it publicly, but his actions spoke volumes. He created distance, changed his tone, and made it clear things weren't the same. Now, here's where everything connects back to 50 Cent. Wack currently manages The Game, a name that immediately brings up one of hip-hop's most infamous feuds. The history between 50 Cent and The Game is well documented, filled with betrayal and tension. But instead of letting that tension settle, Wack reignited it. He hit podcasts and interviews taking shots directly at 50. He questioned 50's street credentials, implying he was no longer part of that world and now moved under industry protection. Wack even claimed 50 has to check in whenever he lands in Los Angeles, suggesting that without proper clearance, 50's presence on the West Coast isn't welcome or safe. Wack 100 didn't just throw out wild claims without context. He referenced a specific incident involving 50 Cent at the SLS Hotel. According to Wack, he and his crew pulled up looking to confront 50 directly.
Actually, to be totally real,
What do you mean?
He called me. I told him exactly what the Fed said. I told him, like, don't say anything. And then his way of not saying anything is to call into the news and basically put forth a completely misleading narrative because, you know, he just loves to cause chaos and everything. And from my perspective, okay, let's go viral. Sure. Post whatever. I don't care.
It did help, though.
Right. Y'all seen my face in here
Like,
when that
bump?
nigga Wack was on the phone.
Yeah,
I mean, bro, if I was arrested, I feel like you guys
bro,
would
that nigga
probably
at
know.
home, bro. No way.
An agent of beautiful chaos.
But when they arrived, what they saw was far from ordinary. Wack described a scene that resembled a high-level security deployment. He claimed it looked like 50 was rolling with Navy SEALs, complete with heavy weaponry and full tactical gear. That description quickly made its way across social media, where users began clowning the story. Many questioned why Wack would even admit to being outgunned if he was trying to assert dominance. Then came the BMF controversy. Wack began criticizing 50 Cent's portrayal of the Black Mafia family through his television projects, claiming that 50 was exploiting the legacy for financial gain. According to Wack, it wasn't about honoring the real story. It was about milking a narrative for profit. But what really caught people's attention was 50's response, or lack of one. The rapper, known for his relentless trolling and pointed Instagram posts, said absolutely nothing. No memes, no captions, no press responses. Just silence. For someone who usually fires back within hours, that quiet response stood out. And according to multiple sources close to the matter, that silence may not be just about strategy, it might actually be about security. Some insiders believe 50 has intentionally distanced himself from Wack 100, not out of fear, but because Wack's proximity to federal attention might make responding too risky. Maybe, just maybe, Wack 100 is baiting 50 Cent into a situation that could turn legal real fast. That's the theory now gaining traction online. Then suddenly, the big U indictment drops, and suddenly everything starts to make a lot more sense. The case is massive, 43 federal counts targeting 18 known members of the Rollins 60s. But there's one name missing, Wack 100. What raised eyebrows was the fact that Wack's voice is allegedly referenced multiple times in the supporting court documents. Now that's a serious detail. If someone is mentioned that heavily but never indicted, it opens the door for speculation. People immediately began to question how deep his role really was and why his name was excluded. Then Wack added more fuel to the fire. He went public claiming that Adam 22, the founder of No Jumper, also got caught up in the same RICO case. Considering Wack is a frequent presence on the No Jumper platform, the claim caused immediate waves. Wack even called into No Jumper Live, stating he'd just gotten off the phone with his attorney. He claimed he was trying to get his legal team to intervene quickly, supposedly to keep Adam from saying anything unnecessary. According to Wack, federal agents came and picked Adam up that very morning and even circled back again. But then things shifted. Wack admitted on air he wasn't fully sure what the feds were pressing Adam about.
That was the only contact I've had was the situation that I described last night, where basically the feds came.
Yeah.
All they wanted to do was drop off the subpoena for the cease and desist.
So where did Wack get the "you were locked up" thing at?
I don't know. He was just trolling, and then they just ran with it. And they made a clip out of it. It is what it is. It's not. I didn't even have communication with anybody in order to turn over anything. And all they want is like one email. So to me, it's like pretty simple, cut and dry thing. You know, it's like my lawyer did tell me like you probably should not antagonize them, which I had no plans on. But
I mean,
that's my one note is do not antagonize the feds.
Just that they were on him for something serious. That's when Adam 22 responded, shutting everything down. He flatly denied any arrest, clarified he wasn't under investigation, and labeled Wack's version of events as exaggerated. Adam even threw in a jab, accusing Wack of having an overactive imagination. He emphasized that, at least for now, there are no charges, no trouble, and no federal involvement, according to him. Even more revealing, Adam 22 confirmed that the feds did, in fact, show up at his property and contacted his legal team. According to him, Their interest centered around a specific cease and desist letter they had received from Big U nearly a year ago. That letter demanded the takedown of a podcast episode in which Loose Cannon allegedly implied that Big U had foreknowledge of what was about to happen to Nipsey Hussle. What caught everyone's attention was Adam's statement that this letter isn't referenced anywhere in the original indictment or criminal filings. To him, that omission raised red flags. It made him question what exactly the federal government is digging into when it comes to Big U and why they're suddenly resurfacing material from months prior. And once again, all eyes shifted right back to Wack 100. After all, he was the one who originally brought Adam's name into the public mess. But ironically, while Wack stirred the pot, his own name was missing from the actual indictment. That's when online speculation exploded. Social media went into overdrive, slapping him with a fresh nickname, Rat 100. The comments were relentless. One post read, "Wack is a terrific informant, man of many talents, snitching being one of them." Another user wrote, "I never seen a so-called G know so much about federal activity. Kind of suspicious, not gonna lie." These weren't just internet jokes anymore. They were years of street-level suspicion boiling over in real time. And now the question stands, how does someone with no official badge know so many precise federal details? Details that include timing, charges, names, and private communications. Either way, it's clear that something beneath the surface is coming to a boil. So what do you think? Are these just rumors getting out of hand? Or is there more going on than what's being said? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're going through every single one. And if you're locked in for real breakdowns, raw facts, and zero fluff, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the next chapter. We'll catch you in the next one.